Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quest-O-Nomicon Q&A. I hope my sound is working. I think, hang on one second. Give me a second. It is. Cool. Thanks, everybody, for joining today. And seriously, thank you all so much for backing the Kickstarter. Like, we got funded in 15 minutes. We're sitting at what? What are we sitting at?
Just shy of 165K.
Oh my gosh, guys, that is insane. So thank you. Seriously, this is amazing. I blowing away my expectations. You guys are awesome. I really, really appreciate it. Really sincerely, thank you for supporting the project. Love you guys so much. It's pretty awesome. So, were you
I was muted.
You're muted. Well, that's how it
It's
works sometimes.
us. It's us.
So we're just gonna kick back. We're gonna chill a little bit, and we're just gonna answer some questions that you guys have about the project and about the book and whatnot. So go ahead and in the YouTube live chat, just at me. I'll put a message in there right now. Say, at me for questions, and I'll look at them and we'll talk about it and answer them. So, yes, Oh, it's terrible? Okay, all right. Let me fix that real quick.
Why are you guys coming up
Technical
with questions?
difficulties, because of course we always have them. That's how it be.
Some of the people here don't know about Marketing Arcade, which is what we do a lot of live streams on. There's always technical difficulties, and it's kind of a meme in our group about these issues, so it's to be expected.
That's how it always is.
Because we're semi-professional, not professional hobbyists when it comes to this stuff. So.
There we go. I think I fixed it.
Yeah.
Is it fixed, Emma?
Fixed?
All right.
It'll take a moment.
All right. Yay! All right, cool. We did it. Well, thank you for bearing with us. So there already got some questions in here. If you guys want to jump into those real quick. The stretch goals. Weston Baker says the stretch goals talk about player bases. Can you explain those? You guys want to give a little insight on some of the player bases that we? How many have we unlocked so far?
We've unlocked
Three? Yeah.
3 have been unlocked.
Mine got unlocked.
Ooh, yours got unlocked.
Mine are not unlocked
Well,
yet.
They will. They'll be unlocked. Because they're the coolest ones. You should go back to Kickstarter and unlock
Seriously,
those.
get those freaking player bases. They're very cool. So which one is yours, Spencer?
Mine's the Flintfall mine.
You wanna give a little insight on some of that one?
Yeah. It's a reward for your players if they've maybe finished one of these super cool stories that they've gone through. You could reward your players with a player base. Yeah. Mine's an abandoned mine that you can upgrade and make a little bit of gold from it. Explore, dig deeper down.
The cool part about all the player bases that I really like is that they all have upgrades.
Yeah.
So you can reward them to your players, and they can have their little base of operations. But then they have all these upgrades that Sir Nominus himself actually upgrades for you. So you can turn the mine into a business if you wanted to, which is pretty cool.
And there are mine
really
carts. You can get mine carts as an upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
You can be zooming through that mine.
Be flying around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which one is yours? Has that one been announced yet?
Technically not, no.
Oh.
Is it on the Kickstarter page?
No.
It's hidden.
Okay, all right. Well, we got to give more stretch goals if you guys want to hear about Tyler's.
I think we could probably hint at that each of the player bases is based off of one of the themes for the Quest-O-Nomicon.
Indeed.
So, if you look at what has already been unlocked, you can get an idea of what is to come.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And then the first one, unfortunately, Colton is not here.
He had work
like an idiot.
Yeah.
But Colton's was the keep in, the keep in. I really like the keep in a lot. It is your typical fantasy sort of like fortress, but you can upgrade the interior to be a tavern. Mm-hmm. So pretty cool, pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for those. And then. What was the other one? There was a Flintfall, there was Keep In, and...
Wandering Mansion?
Wandering Mansion.
That one's yours.
Wandering Mansion's mine, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Wandering Mansion, the only thing that you are given is a piece of chalk. And as long as you draw a special sigil on a door, you can enter into the pocket dimension of the Wandering Mansion, and inside the Wandering Mansion is a bunch of sentient like furniture.
Yeah.
Like the kitchen utensils are alive and they'll make you food. There's a coat rack that you can get as an upgrade that will organize your stuff for you. There's even like magical windows that you can make look however you want to make your the process staying at this mansion like pretty relaxing. And the previous adventurers who lived in this mansion actually, unfortunately, abandoned it. They were a part of it for a little while.
There was a fire. It was
Yeah,
bad.
there was a fire. It burned down some of the library. I think it was like some devils that went in and like burned it down a little bit. So now it's available for whoever wants to use it. So yeah.
A little backstory there.
Yeah, just a little bit backstory. Nothing there at all. So yeah, let's knock out those stretch goals, guys. I want to talk about more of them. They're really cool, and I hope that they get to be in the book. So. All right, Sheba Song asks, does the skeleton have a sweet backstory? Does the skeleton have a sweet backstory?
I don't know. You're his creator. Does he have a backstory?
Actually, Cernominus came to me.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess you have to ask Astronominus then?
Yeah, I don't
Is he
know.
available now? Could we get him on Zoom, maybe?
I don't think he has internet. I think he came to me like a dream. It was very strange, yeah. He's just this dude that, like, I don't know, he's just been on a lot of adventures, and, like, he's died so many times that he's just turned into a skeleton. So, but his favorites were the ones in the Quest-O-Nomicon. So we were able to interview him and document him and figure out what all of these adventures were. So, yeah, not really certain. A very mysterious individual, this Cernominus. Jacob Simpson asks, what level would you recommend the adventure? Well, yeah, there you go.
1
Yeah.
to 3.
Yes. So I know that we have the infographic video. I don't know how well that's been able to explain it. Maybe I can explain it a little bit better here. The adventures are one-shots that are for level 1. There's 10 one-shots for level 1. But every adventure can at the end of every one-shot, you can continue the adventure and level up to 2, and then you can continue the adventure again and level up to 3. So it's like 3 shots. And while we advertise them as 3 shots, we had the full intention of you playing all 3 adventures, hopefully. But if you don't want to, it's okay. If you just want to run the first adventure and just call it a day, that's the whole point of the book, is you could just sit down with your friends and be like, hey, you guys just want to play a one-shot? And then if they like it, you could continue into the other games.
It's supposed to be a thing that you're not, like... It is to be like a one-shot or something. Like, we want to play D&D. We want to just play a quick thing.
Yeah.
Let's just play a game. Oh, I'm enjoying this adventure. We can extend it to the next one and then finish off this little mini story.
Exactly.
So it's really 30 games in total.
You can get 30 game sessions out of the book. If we hit the stretch goals, maybe there might be a little more. Maybe it might be like maybe 35. Maybe 40. Actually, maybe more like 45.
Actually, maybe how many?
45.
45?
Yeah, maybe about
45.
45. If we hit all those stretch goals.
Yeah.
But there's something more I was going to say about that. You were talking about that they can... so there's 30 game sessions, basically.
Yes, there's 30 game sessions.
But there's also 2 villains for every adventure.
Yes.
So even if you want to run Haldraxis, the first adventure, which is called Hunt for Haldraxis, one way, you could run it with the other villains and run it a completely different way. So let's say you run the one shot, you run it for a group of friends, and there's like 2 people who like it and 2 people are like, D&D kind of isn't my thing. You could grab those 2 people, get 2 more other people, maybe your friends, be like, well, let's run it again, but they've already played it before. So run the other villain so that they have a different experience.
Yep.
You know, so you can get a lot out of the whole deal.
There's a lot of I won't say openness with it, but there's a lot of replayability with this book. And we really spent a lot of time trying to design it to have this replayability that you can just constantly kind of play with this book.
100%. Justin Eifert asks, any plans to live stream some of these on Arcane Arcade? You know what? That'd be kind of fun.
It would.
It would be kind of fun. So maybe when the book comes out, maybe we'll stream a few when it comes out. Maybe we'll even add our own little twists to them, so you won't ever know what to expect out of the Quest-O-Nomicon. But yeah. For those of you who are avid watchers of us on Arcane Arcade, you may find a couple of references here and there in the Quest-O-Nomicon that you may understand.
We may have snuck in quite a few Easter eggs. That's I think we've
whole
already made
bunch.
clear a little
Yeah.
bit earlier in this stream.
Yeah. So, what is the whole pizza place asks,
Oh.
what is the level for the book? I noticed it low level, but there are high level adventures too. Not really. It is not, the book is not really optimized and designed to be played above level 3. I don't see why you couldn't do it. You could definitely rank up those, and it's really just like the encounters and the DCs.
Yeah.
You could easily go in, take those DCs, take those encounters, and level them up and have them for higher level parties. It's just that we didn't do the work for that.
Yeah.
So
It's designed for levels 1 through 3, depending on which adventure.
And you could always,
So.
Do the first 3 adventures and then extend it into your own universe
Yeah,
or
go-
pre-written.
Yeah,
and
exactly. So it's not something that is like you end here and that's the end of that story. You can
always keep going.
You can keep going. You can have it be your start of your full-blown campaign if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Kaden Paquette asks, how much time total has you and the crew put into the Quest-O-Nomicon at this point? Way too much. Oh my god. In case you guys don't know, we have written everything already. So the manuscript is done, aside from editing. The manuscript is pretty much done. So we have been working on it all year.
Yeah.
All year we've been working on it, and it has been crazy.
So we've been like working on it for a year, but we've been talking and thinking about this for a couple now. It's been like a 2-3 year discussions with it, and then we start writing. So.
Yeah, I think we really started December 2020, and we that's like when we began concepting everything.
Yes.
And then like we worked on it like months from there, and then there was a point probably all throughout the summer where it was every week we were meeting up and we were getting together and we were writing and we were writing and we were writing, and then it became like there was like 2 weeks where like every day we were meeting up and we were getting together and reading and writing and reading and writing. So I can't tell you how much time we really put into this whole thing. It's a lot.
Yeah, we definitely did not keep track of the hours. It's in the
we should have had like a game on Steam, and we should have just like pushed play as soon as we started and just tracked how many hours. That would have been cool.
Yeah. Well, we put a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
So.
It's been really difficult to keep all of it a secret for the past year. We've just been writing things and being like, oh, I love this idea, and I can't tell no one.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to finally share it with you guys.
There are things in the book that you're like, I want to put this in every Arcane Arcade stream, but you can't because it's not out yet.
Yeah.
So
there is a stretch goal adventure that
I know.
wrote that has a mechanic for games
Yeah.
that I really hope we unlock because I really like it.
if it doesn't get unlocked, we'll just have to hide it away forever.
I guess we will.
Yeah.
I guess we will, yeah.
Backspace.
Backspace. Oh, just delete.
Just hold backspace. Yeah. So Jackson Fisher asks, will there be any new monsters, magic items, etc.?
Yes.
Yeah. The simple answer there. Yeah, there are. So a lot of there are a lot of stat blocks that we have created or done to try and keep things within a more balanced way for low levels. And that's something that we spent a lot of time discussing and figuring out and working with and trying to figure out is how do we not just instantly kill party members at level 1. That's why the whole joke on
Cernominous.
in the video, but the video yesterday, right? It came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Time is nothing anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
So the whole joke is because that happens a lot. We hear stories of we've gone through it ourselves and these things can kill people easily usually. So we've spent a lot of time trying to balance it.
A big way that we really balance a lot of the encounters and stuff is not only having So there's never more than the amount of players that there should be for encounters. So if you're ever fighting like a group of kobolds or goblins, there's never more kobolds than there should be players. On top of that, all of the stat blocks have flat damages unless they're more designed for level 3. The level 3 stat blocks do have like damage rolls, so you can roll dice for their damages, but a big thing that we wanted to do with this was make sure that there's not random max damage. Oops, your wizard is dead, and you're done with the game.
Yeah.
So a lot of the damages are just flat. It's just like, the bow hits you, it does 2 damage.
And that's not to say that the encounters aren't challenging, but there is a challenge with it. But
There's definitely some challenging encounters in there.
well, but they were definitely designed to be fun encounters rather than you're just instantly dead and you're done. Usually you can take a hit.
Yeah.
If you are, as the joke in the video was, if you're a wizard, 10 Constitution, you get hit, you're probably not going to instantly die, but you're going to be really bad.
There's still the threat of death in all of these adventures.
Absolutely.
It's not.
Absolutely.
It's not too easy that no one will ever die.
Yeah.
Especially in some of them, it's you might die.
Yeah. Well, one in particular.
Yeah.
Wow, Chris Lazuli asks, are there any encounters for a variety of tones? Serious, quirky, dark, etc.? Yeah, so one thing we really wanted to do, I really wanted to do with the Quest-O-Nomicon was not have any 2 adventures that were the same, even if they're the extended adventures. So sometimes we'd be writing, and Tyler would write an adventure over here, and then Colton would write an adventure over here, and I'd go, they're too similar. They both have a thing in it. Change it. So a lot of the adventures are very different, but so we have 5 different themes. We've got fantasy, western, seafaring, horror, and apocalyptic. So obviously the biggest kind of stark difference I feel like from all of them is horror. Horror is less of like, so like seafaring and western, those are like themes. Horror is just like, oh, it's scary. So one thing I really wanted to do with that is to have 2 really different types of horror adventures. So I wrote one called Escape from Old Redwick, and it is your party is suddenly trapped in a land full of darkness and they have to escape, and it's really spooky, very like they could die at any moment kind of thing, especially because they're low level, so they'll have to be, it's all about survival and ensuring that they escape and stay alive, while Tyler's adventure, the Lost Spirits, is more of sort of like a mysterious occult horror.
Yeah, it's a lot more. Yeah, that's a right explanation of it. It's this going through trying to discover what happened, discover these things, and dealing with occult things rather than just trying to survive. The surviving is kind of secondary in that one, while discovery is the main one.
And the other thing too is that maybe if you want your game to be really, really spooky, like each adventure has 2 different villains. So if you're running it for people who are really into that kind of horror, they want it to be awful and scary and terrible, you can choose one of the villains that make it that way. But we also made sure to include a villain that maybe goes a bit more on the lighter side of things, so it's not like awful, terrible the whole time. So the 2 different villains can really change up the flavor of the type of horror. So every adventure there are 2 different types of like themes for each one. So not only is there like you've got horror, and then you've got 2 different types of horror, and then you've got like actually 2 different types of horror because there's 2 different types of villains. It's the same way for all of them. So we've got a western, but then 2 western adventures, and then 2 different types of western villains, and then same thing with seafaring, and same thing with apocalyptic. So they're whatever kind of adventure you want to run, I'm certain you'll find it in here. And if we didn't cover it, I'd be surprised. So all right. So DJ Argyle says, about how long would you say each one shot is?
I think
it's about one shot. It's about one adventure.
If you want to go for like the amount of time it would take, I think our goal is about 3 hours. I think.
About we hope. I don't know. Maybe take a long time. We hope you could beat them in about 3 hours. If anything, they're too long. Like we made sure that there would be enough stuff in there so that in case you took forever with these adventures, or you just did it from the book, if anything, you would need to play everyone in 2 sessions. I don't see how you could, but about 3 hours per game.
It's about 3 or 4 hours was the goal.
Yeah, exactly. Oinker the Pig asks, will this be good for beginners, or is it for experienced players who can, or can it be for both?
Both.
It is for both.
Yeah.
100% for both. There are certain adventures, like, I don't like saying this, but it's completely true with, like, the types of adventures that we created. We kind of have, like, baby adventures, and we kind of have, like, this is a little bit more for experienced players.
Yes.
So, but they're still levels 1 through 3.
Yep.
I, as a player and as a dungeon master, personally love low-level adventures. Even though I've played tons of D&D, that doesn't mean I like playing at level 15. I love playing at level 1, 2, and 3, and 4 and 5. And so there are some adventures in the Quest-O-Nomicon, specifically maybe more of the, like, the post-apocalyptic ones are a bit more out there, a bit more crazy. But hey, if you want to run that for people who never played D&D before, go for it. It'll be a weird introduction, but you can certainly do it.
Yep. And the same thing goes with the DMs as well. Is it's for both, but we definitely had took some time to kind of help guide DMs through how to run it through. Well, Sir Novinus gave his little notes to to kind of help guide the DM in how to run adventures, and it might give some suggestions or advice or like clarifications on certain things that aren't just in the base text of the book.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing too is, he puts all of his notes in the book so he can help you out. So the goal is that if you've never DM'd before, pick this book up and try it out, because we took a lot of effort to make it so that if you've never DM'd before, you could have an easy time with this. Spencer, you haven't DM'd a whole lot. Would you run a Quest-O-Nomicon adventure?
I probably would.
Oh yeah? Which one would you run?
I like Old Red Book.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Is it because you helped write that one?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I also like Lost Spirits. That one's very good. It's spooky.
Wow. You like the horror adventures? Sheesh.
What would have given that away?
Well, it's a good segue because Two Gnomes and Trenchcoat asked, which genre has your favorite adventure? And
the horror ones.
yeah. We talked about this actually when we finished writing. We were like, hey, which ones are your favorite that aren't yours? That aren't one that you wrote.
Yeah.
And I would have to say the second post-apocalyptic adventure, Doomed Heroes, is my favorite.
Interesting.
Which is one that Tyler wrote.
Yeah, I wrote that one.
I don't know how much I want to say about it.
It's well, all I'll say is that one of the pieces of art that were at the beginning of the stream comes from that.
Yeah, the big creature in the
big
thing
creature,
with the stuff.
yeah.
It's the big tentacle. It has like a cow in it.
Yeah, it has cow and people faces inside. It's a thing.
Yeah.
I think mine is still.
Oh wait! Before we go on,
okay.
I do want to say one thing about Doomed Heroes.
Oh, go.
I don't want to spoil anything in it, but the whole point of that adventure is that you are supposed to die.
Yes.
But you can come back. So you have to be creative about how you and your party dies. So yeah. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's definitely one that took quite a bit of time to kind of wrap your head around. It's like, oh, this is very different from normal D&D, but it's still D&D. I think my personal favorite is that I didn't do is the heist, which is the one you wrote.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah, it just has kind of it both has a lot of flavor, but it also has like the villains are so different from each other and can it makes sense to do. I want to run both of them. I want to play in both of them. I don't. It just is so intriguing, and having to go through that one.
The heist is the Western adventure that I wrote, and it is a you and your party are set out into the Badlands to go rob a train, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But I will say that there's some art of one of the villains, and one of the villains is his name is Azeraphis, and he is the devil.
I like Azeraphis.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Is your favorite Redwig, Spencer?
Yeah, or Lost Spirits, because that one's not mine. But
fair
I
enough.
like both of the horror.
Fair enough. All right, I'm just scrolling through questions here. kind of go down, looking through these. Kronos Karstensen asks, do you think that these quests will be good for newer players? I would agree, yes.
That
They
was
would be
the
good for newer
point.
players.
My goodness, new players, new DMs, but also
And
experienced, but also experienced ones and kids.
And kids.
So-
There are quite a few adventures in there that I would say should be run for your children. It'd be a very good time.
Introduce your offspring to D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah,
family
exactly.
family D&D night
Family
sounds
D&D night.
amazing.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And we made sure to put into the manuscript that there are content warnings.
Yes.
So it was funny because when we were writing the content warnings, we wanted to make sure for those who are sensitive towards them that there are certain things in the book. So there are people, you have players. We want to make sure that before you run your adventures, you go to your players and you explain to them the content warnings that could be on the inside in case anybody's sensitive to them. If you've got kids too, you could you could look at them and maybe omit
Yep.
some of the things that are in there. But also, we were calling them spicy theme tags.
Yeah.
So-
they kind of give you an idea of what is also. So it both acts as the content warning of.
Yeah.
Maybe this is more questionable things in terms of
Yeah.
like maybe you might be sensitive to it,
Yeah.
or it could also be, hey, has this type of stuff in it. That's kind of interesting.
It's
And
funny because it would be like, oh yeah, I want to make sure to look out for these. And then I know there are going to be some people who look at it and be like, murder, death, yes,
exactly. I actually had people on the on one of our discords when the example spread pages page spreads were released specifically mentioned that. But they were like, ooh, spicy tags. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's yeah. So
Yeah.
it works both ways. It's kind of a nice little thing, just to kind of give you an idea of what's in there.
Yeah. Elder Akuma asks, can these adventures take place in pre-written universes, for example, Ravenloft or Wildmount? Yes, 100%. That was a huge thing that we wanted to do with this book as well. It is not a campaign setting.
Nope.
We specifically gave all of the locations and everything in the world just nothing names so that you could fill them in and change them if you wanted to,
Yep.
because that is the whole point, is that you could take your homebrew world, or you could take Forgotten Realms, or you could take Eberron, or you could take Ravenloft, or you could take whatever the heck you want and put these adventures in there,
Yeah.
and they can act as your starting adventures into the rest of the
Especially
world.
since most of the pre-writtens have like the start of the game gets you to level 3, and then
Yes.
the real like
Yeah.
the most of the adventure is like you need to be at least level 3. So
Yes,
run one of
exactly.
these and then throw your players into Strahd or
Yep.
Wildmount.
Exactly.
Stairs Nyarlathotep asks, how do you look at Lovecraftian name? I pronounced it perfectly. I'm just saying, how do you get a sense of what you want to make an adventure about? I don't know about your guys' process, but I more specifically like to think about what I would want to play.
Yeah.
And that's what I write.
That's always a good base. It's always nice to also have kind of a prompt a little bit where like we kind of chose what the themes were ahead of time, and then we would come up with some ideas of it, and between us we would kind of have something that would kind of like
We definitely had outside references that
outside
we
reference
used.
that we use to kind
Yeah.
of get some inspiration with it. Not direct takes, but definitely something that kind of like it's kind of like this but different kind of thing. So
Look, when I was writing the heist, I just wanted to play Red Dead 2. All right, I just
Yeah.
want a Red Dead 2 adventure, and that was kind of like my base. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make an adventure that I'm inspired from that to,
Yep.
to create this.
Yep.
So yeah, we that's how we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inspiration and just what do you think is fun?
Himra777 asks, is there any Among Us references in the book? I can't say that with a straight face.
I don't think there is.
I
There are
don't-
some meme
I don't think
references,
that
but...
there is, but you could throw one in there and no one would know.
I did not put any Among Us.
I did not.
No,
I didn't either.
No.
We still can. There's still time.
I did do a meme reference to something, not meme, but like a fairly recent like pop culture type meme thing. There is a reference to that in one of my adventures, but not Among Us.
Yeah.
Dang, we missed out.
We did.
Yeah, we
I
missed
know.
We should have done a spaceship with Little guys on it.
Little guys running around? Yeah.
I've never played that game.
What do you do in that game? You run around with little guys? You do the things with the stuff?
Yeah.
I can't believe in the middle of this Q&A we're talking
You can
about
go in the
Among Us.
vents. I know you can go in a vent. You can do that.
All right.
Only the bad guys can.
I'm moving on.
Cool. Yeah.
Flimsy
We need to-
Dread asks, regarding the hardcover, will it be a way to swap it with a special edition hardcover to lower tier levels such as the infamous Outlaw tier? Unfortunately, I don't think so. I think the special edition cover will only be available if you back the highest tier. So you gotta get on that elite tier, guys, if you want that super epic special edition
you
cover.
can make it an add-on, can you not?
I think you
can.
I think you can make an add-on or get the highest tier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think because I'm not super good at how Kickstarter works. Sorry, but like I'm pretty sure after you back and when everything kind of goes through, there's a point where you can add things on, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to add on things
the
onto
special
your
edition.
stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I don't know for sure.
I don't think
but
you can
we'll see.
switch them out though. I think you would just get both.
That isn't things specifically like that aren't our specialty. We have people who
for that.
people who actually know what
We're
they're
working
doing.
with Ghostfire Gaming.
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
they're doing a
And
really good
they-
job helping us out.
They know what they're doing. So we're
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
If you have major questions, I would love if you direct them at me. And as much as I would love to answer your questions, you'll probably get a much better answer if you throw it into the Kickstarter comments.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can only go in the comments if you're a backer. If you can't, there I believe is an email on the I'm pretty sure it's just Quest-O-Nomicon Kickstarter or something
I
like that
don't
at Gmail. There's an email on the Kickstarter page where you can email questions as well.
Yep.
So
Yep.
if you have
And
anything
people
to
who
say
are
about
more knowledgeable than us will be able to answer you
Yeah.
sooner than us. So
that. Mhm.
it is their job.
Gamer Not Found asks, I desperately want to get the Dragon Slayer box, but I need to wait for a payday. If I pledge low now and upgrade to that tier Friday, will I still get the bookmark? I think so.
Yes, I also think that if I'm not mistaken, and this has been said before, if you pledge now, you actually won't be charged until the end of the Kickstarter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you can so everyone who's pledged just know that charge won't come in until
Later.
The 9th
later.
of
Yeah,
next
yeah.
month?
I think it's the 9th, somewhere in early October.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. And so you could pledge now and get the Dragon Slayer, and you should be fine.
Yeah.
Don't quote me, but that's my understanding.
Test it out. Try it.
As far as we know, that's how it works.
Yes.
So yeah. All right. Blaze Ice Phoenix asks, I know this is early, but do you think you'll make another book involving Sir Nominus again, like a Sir Nominus Player's Guide? That'd be kind of cool. Right now, no, I don't have any plans. I'd like to. I'd like to make another book.
We are definitely thinking about future projects.
Yeah, of course.
But nothing is set in stone right now. That's pretty much the answer.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're taking big break.
Mm-hmm.
Except Jacob's not taking a break at all.
What?
You're working on your other book that's not a
No.
Kickstarter, but is a book.
No.
It's practically a book, but it's not a book. It's
No.
coming out for free.
Yep.
Well, it's already out for free.
Yeah.
That's my for fun book.
Yeah, I
For
know.
fun book.
No, this book was for fun too.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun writing this one. So
It's all for fun.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, guys. I'm scrolling through comments. I know these are super backed up, so I'm just going through them at one at a time. It's like when you go to a con and they do a panel and they walk up to the mic. It's just like you're in line.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, do you know, Nicholas Ferrari, do you know if the BBG miniatures will be pre-prep primed, or will they require priming? I think they come primed. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if they come primed.
I think they're gray plastic, so you probably should prime it. I'm
Yeah.
imagining. I'm not a mini.
You're the mini expert.
You should probably prime it. In my experience, pre-prime stuff, I don't really like the primer that they use, so I use my own.
Get that fresh prime.
Get that fresh prime.
All right. Opt Nico asks, is the book going to be heavy roleplay? Is it heavy combat, or will it be a good mix of both? This is such a good question because this was another major part of the design of the adventures.
Yep.
It was we had this we had this document, this enormous document that we were writing everything. It wouldn't even load by the end. We were like scrolling and it wouldn't load.
Yeah.
And so, but at the very beginning of it, I went in and just gave like this 2-page dissertation about what I wanted out of the adventures. Like, it needs to have this, it needs to have this, it needs to have this, and
So
go ahead.
more or less both.
Every adventure.
Yes.
We made sure we were meticulous about that. Every adventure has a combat. Every adventure has an opportunity for role play. Every adventure has a choice that the players get to make, and every adventure has a bit where they get to explore.
Yes.
So we also tried to like include every type of character in the adventure as well. So like it's not just 4 mages or if you're a barbarian, you're gonna do really good in this adventure. Like we tried to make sure that there's a variety of everything. But for all of you who like to role play, there's a lot of opportunity. We made sure to put opportunity for role play.
But same thing with combat, same thing with exploration.
Yep.
It's a bag of everything.
Yep.
Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. So totally.
Yeah.
Are the adventures 1 to 3 on purpose because of the XP to level 3 name? Love the trailer, by the way. Huge congrats. So no, but it just kind of ended up that way, so it's pretty funny.
Yes, but actually no.
yeah, exactly. Actually, in the early stages of concepting the book, I didn't know what I wanted to call it, but I had the idea of which was 1 shots. It can be set up to 3 shots that have different villains, and everybody was like, name the book XP to level 3, and I was like, that's so stupid.
And that was the working title for a little
It
while.
was, yeah. We went through so many names.
Yeah.
We had such a hard time with the name until I just sat down. I was like, let's just do something ridiculous. And I was like, I think I also had the other, we had Quest-O-Nomicon, and the other name I had was the Adventuridian, which was a play off the Enchiridion, but it was called the Adventuridian, and that one just didn't roll off the tongue very well. And everybody, like, we sat around and I was like, Quest-O-Nomicon, and we were all like, eh. We were just kind of like, eh. All right, we'll run with it. And then we just liked it more and more as it went on.
It grew on all of us, I think.
I think why we were all kind of like, is because I believe like 2 days before that we had a meeting and we decided on a name and we're like, we all like this name, let's go with it.
Yes,
and then that night Jacob was like, I don't like the name. I don't like the name. I'm gonna change it.
What was it? It was
Drifter's Guide.
It was called like Drifter's Guide.
And we
to
still had like Sir Nominus. I don't think that was his name. He was Drifter then.
Yeah, he was Drifter
and
back then.
we still had the idea of like a skeleton mascot. But you were like, I don't like Drifter anymore. I'm gonna change it. It's like we just agreed on the name.
Look, Sir Nominus came to me in a dream.
He did.
And I was like, oh,
He was
that's a
like,
great name.
my name's not Drifter.
Yeah.
Change it.
Yeah. His name is, it means a lot of things. It means a lot of different things. Yeah. So, hey, Nicholas Ferrari asks, any idea how many stretch goals there actually are? Are you worried about running out of them and having to create more? Yes. I mean, we have a lot. We have a lot.
Yeah.
So, and if we get all of them, I not only will I just feel very, very grateful and very, like, just overwhelmed, but, yeah, we have a lot of stretch goals planned, so when those come out. But if we run out, yeah, I will freak out. What just happened?
Oh, it's stuck over
there.
there.
Oh, it's not updated.
I had to unplug the internet.
That makes sense.
I've been looking over there.
Yeah, like
It's
it's
in,
not
case, in case you guys
changed.
don't know, we have the Kickstarter on my TV right now.
Yeah.
We're watching it, and I had to unplug it because I had to plug in the stream. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we at currently?
We are currently at $171,000.
Woo! Thank you, everybody,
Woo!
so much.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Only another 29
29
K until the next stretch
till the
goal.
next stretch
And
goal.
it unlocks. People know what it is, or
Yes,
Okay.
I think they will know what the next one is because
Is it not on there? Can you here? Let me check real quick to see if it's actually.
it
on
wasn't
there
when
or
we
not.
hit 150 earlier today.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Because we're not in charge of updating
No,
the
we're
Kickstarter
not.
page.
We'll see.
Yeah,
they made it look beautiful.
Yes, and like you.
You.
Yeah.
It
They will at 200,000. They will know what
Oh.
it is.
Oh, cool.
So if you get it there, then you guys can see what the next player base is.
Yep.
And
Pretty awesome.
immediately unlock it too.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
immediate
yeah.
unlock it and learn. So
Pretty awesome. All right, so Blaze Ice Phoenix asks, what tier do you recommend the most?
Whatever you can afford.
Exactly.
That's the real answer.
I recommend whichever one
Someone
you feel like.
this morning donated $1, and we are grateful.
Thank you for your dollar.
So we were actually in a meeting with the Ghostfire team at
Yeah.
the same time. We're like, someone donated $1, and we were all like, we want to know who this is.
Who donated $1? It was just annoying us because it was like there was $1 more. And
Yeah.
So it was just like it wasn't like a flat
Yeah.
divisible by 5. Yeah.
But absolutely, whatever you want. If you want, like, my honest opinion, if you can afford it, I do say get the Dragon Slayer.
The big one.
Get the big one, because there's a lot of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All of the products are awesome. At the highest one, you get not only the special edition cover, which you get both books. So you have 2 books now.
Yep.
But you also get the Dice
You get
Vault.
3. You get the PDF,
Oh,
the
yeah,
PDF,
PDF.
special edition.
one, and yeah, and then you also get this Dice Vault, the sculpted Dice Vault
With
Yeah.
Sir Nominus's head
with
on
Sir
it.
Nominus's hat on it, and metal glow-in-the-dark dice.
Yeah.
Like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Come on.
The DM screen is also magnetic.
The DM
It
screen
so
is
cool.
probably
So cool.
is probably my favorite product because even if you don't really need the book itself or really even are interested in the book, the DM screen, I don't think I've ever heard of one that has done something like this before.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
it
yeah.
being magnetic and you can like put stuff on it and change things out and put things for where the players can see things.
Yeah.
It's so
Amazing.
customizable and so awesome.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. My YouTube is being weird and repeating a lot of things, so I'm gonna have to refresh. I might lose all of the comments. So,
Oh no.
No.
Do you want
Yeah.
my phone?
No, I think I got it. I think I'm good. Let's see. Zor at G says, are the PDF products also being shipped in 2022, or backers get those earlier than the physical rewards? You will get earlier. You will get the PDF first, and then everything else will get shipped out.
Pretty much whenever that Ghostfire and Us are done with the
Editing.
editing and getting all the art and setting up the spread for the PDF,
Yep.
from what we understand from our last discussion with it, you'll get that, like right when we're done with that, and then the physical stuff
Yep.
will come later.
Yeah, for sure. Sam Lunser is repeating the same question over and over again, and I'm just going to call you out and be like, maybe
We have-
because you said it 400 times, now I'm not going to answer it.
We have a few people doing that.
Wow, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not very
Really?
cool.
I can tell that you're doing it, but I will answer
Yeah.
regardless. How would you normally start a campaign? Like a normal Slay the Dragon, save your gerbils, and all that kind of stuff? I don't know. There's a lot of ways you could start a campaign. I made a video about how to start your campaigns, and personally, one of my favorite ways to start a campaign is to get everybody in a little situation that they feel comfortable in, and then throw in some action right into the beginning. So whatever you want to do, just get like, oh, you're in a tavern, you're in a little, nice little tavern. Well, guess what? Now there's a giant attacking the tavern, and that's always pretty fun. So that's how I like to start my adventures. Yeah.
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 I mean, yeah, there's plenty of ways to start different adventures and different things. It's just one of the main ones is find out how your players kind of have met or know each other and kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Fry Minis donates $5 and also says, how many dollars do I need to commit to get a custom song written about me or delicious French fries? I don't know. Why would you want that? That's very strange.
I'd love to have a song written about me. Do you think we can get that?
What
that
about
going?
you and French fries?
I can work on a song. I can order French fries right now. It just depends on how quick
Okay.
they can get to our house.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. I'm not very talented in music making, but I can certainly try.
All right. Two Gnomes in Trench Coat asks, tell me, Buds, the wizard, is he in it?
Buy the book and find out.
There you go.
I will not confirm or deny these allegations. I will move on to another question. I just want to say that Miles Turner said that your fiance's hair has never looked better, just an observation. And
Oh,
I would have to
thank you.
agree.
Well, actually, that's wrong. That's a false statement. Not fiance.
That's my wife!
I didn't even catch that one. Yeah, we got married.
Yeah, they're no longer fiance.
No,
longer
no,
to be married. They have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ancient right has been invoked.
Bree Frost asks, is there any additional content in the special edition of the book, or is it just the awesome cover? It is just the awesome cover.
Yeah.
But it's bragging rights, basically. You'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, look at me. I have the beep. Yeah. The beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, we have the special edition of Stibbles up there, and
We
it's
do have the special edition.
very beautiful.
Let me grab that real quick.
Yeah, you grab it.
They put a lot of thought into their special edition covers, and
Yeah.
all of them look amazing.
Yeah.
I'm reaching it.
Reach, don't knock your pack down. Thank
Yeah,
you.
don't kill the mic pack, please.
Whoa, look at that.
There it is. The special
Such a
edition
beautiful-
of Stibbles Codex of Companions.
Look at it.
Look at that
One of
boy.
those.
Look at that. Look, it's so shiny. It's
Yep.
reflective.
But
you can
yeah.
blind your friends with it.
But yeah, we're not cutting content for the special edition.
Nope.
As things get put in.
Or adding
Or
content.
adding.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean, is we're not
Yeah.
separating out the content.
No.
Content is the content. And I had a path I was going with this, but I lost that path. I'm gone. It's gone. I'm done.
Oh, all right. No worries.
Yep. The book is big.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of content in there, so
and there'll be even more if we
especially
get all those
if
stretch
we get the
goals.
stretch goals.
Yeah, seriously. James Thatcher donates $5 and says, "How much do I need to donate to get Jacob to shave his head?"
Don't do that. I like his hair like that.
You like it like this?
Yep,
Yeah.
like that.
All right.
Look at it.
Oh, thanks.
I think the wife beats out donations.
Yep. Sorry. $1 million. $1 million.
Well,
One person. One person would donate the $1 million, not all together.
yeah.
If you do it, he can shave his head if he wants to.
Bezos jumps in the chat.
Oh shit! he's like,
"Look
this is
like me."
nothing.
Yeah.
Worth.
Russ Bouzard asks, "Congratulations on getting funded. How many of these quests will have my players laughing uncontrollably during game?"
All of
I
them.
don't know.
What do your friends think is funny? Because some of them could be a little funny.
Actually, yeah, a few of them are a little ridiculous. I feel like you could have a really fun time laughing your ass off during Doomed Heroes.
Oh,
I
yeah?
think that one can be pretty hilarious.
Yeah, you can. That one can go either way. Either you can be laughing your ass off and it's like hilarious, or you can get super serious and into it, and like it's like the kind of awful that's like the fun awful.
Yeah.
It's the post-apocalyptic, dark, dreary, shit.
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
exactly.
awful.
Yeah.
Fun awful.
Have you seen that clip of that kid who's talking about Osmosis Jones, and he's like, basically, I'm expecting to crack up. I
Yeah.
want to be cracking up. That's that comment right now.
Yeah.
Is that.
Yep.
Whoa, guys got some weird names. All right, so Crizzo B. Good asks, are the adventures adaptable to higher levels? So levels that are higher than 3. And is it adaptable for fewer or more players?
Yeah.
Well, we kind of answered this earlier, is that you can adapt it. We designed it to be level 1 through 3. You
Yeah.
can always bump it up. You can add creatures. You can bump up their health and damage. It's easy to do. But that's not part of the design.
You could. You would just have to do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could. It's
Yeah.
not like it's impossible. It's not
Yeah.
like it's locked out. You can be like, nope,
Absolutely.
it's completely impossible. It
Yeah.
has to be for this
Raise
level.
some DCs and add some health and.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Exactly.
What was the second
I
part of the
made a
question?
really dumb document right before we set off the
Yeah.
manuscript, and it was playing the Quest-O-Nomicon as one campaign, and it is really stupid. You know, if we hit all our stretch goals, I'll send it. I'll drop it in the Discord. It's just my modded.
You're like headcanon.
It's the Fallout New Vegas mod, the Josh Sawyer edition. It's the Jacob Buds edition. Quest-O-Nomicon as one campaign.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, boy.
exactly what it is.
What was the second part of that question?
Is it adaptable for fewer or more players?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, same kind of thing. I think our
Yeah,
goal was
it
4
is
to 6.
adaptable. We did kind of keep the idea that you have 4 to 5 players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like 3 to 5. So
Yeah.
anywhere between there, it should be fine. Obviously, if you have more players, you're gonna be kicking butt a little bit more. But if you
So,
if you
bump them
want
up
to
a little
scale up the encounters a little bit, I wouldn't scale up the the stat blocks, I would instead scale up like the amount of creatures that are in it. you know?
I think it depends because there's some that are specific for one creature. But
Like so in Haldraxxus, one of the villains are the mountain giants, which is one of the art pieces that we have is the big old mountain giants, and they are really strong. I wouldn't ever recommend making more than however many there are.
Yeah.
So basically that's it. The Quackster Chief asks, is there a way to avoid mini-boss combat, like communicating with a dragonborn main here? My dice torture me every time I attack. Yeah, sometimes there are alternate ways for the quest to go down. So every adventure has like a choice that the players get to make, and that choice can alter the game a little bit. So while Haldraxxus is not really one to parlay, as per se, he's very evil, vindictive, and wants to burn the city of River. It would be difficult to talk him down, but I don't see why he couldn't do it.
While I definitely know that Berea the Vile is a little bit more. She's also vindictive and vile.
She's the villain for
Lost Spirits.
She's a hag.
But she also likes to live.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Maybe talk her down.
Yeah. The same could not necessarily be said for Thaddeus Shorn, that is.
Yeah. Which is not a name that has come up yet.
No,
Oh.
But it did just now.
Is it just now?
I wonder what that one's
I
in.
decided that it came up right now.
Yep.
He's the other villain.
The other
for,
villain for the Lost Spirits.
The Lost Spirits. Yep. Let me just scroll through down here real quick. Let's see. That is not a question for the Quest-O-Nomicon, so I'm gonna skip it. So thank you though. Appreciate it. You know, I'll just answer it anyways. What's your favorite oath for a paladin? I would have to say, the one where you do the thing. You know. Hang on, let me look them up real quick. What's your favorite, Spencer? You play a lot of
Devotion.
paladins. Devotion? Really?
Oath of the Crown is also really cool.
Oh, I have to agree. Oath of the Crown is great.
Vengeance.
Vengeance. I like
Paladin.
Vengeance.
Paladin is my favorite class, so I like all of them.
I don't play many paladins, so I don't have an opinion. I haven't played enough of them.
Yeah. Miles Solomon asks, how much playtesting has gone into the book? As of right now, not a whole lot. But there will be playtesting going in the book.
Yep.
There's you can find out more information on it on the Kickstarter if you maybe perhaps want to check it out or be involved. I think that's a thing you can do. So yeah, playtesting will be a thing. Tier donates €5. Hello, I am not a money
You're not
man.
a bank?
I am not
That is yours.
All right. Can you speak more about how friendly it is to new DMs? I am late to the party and just wondering, since my group has only done Lost Mines so far. This book is for you. This book is 100% for you. It's for everybody if you want to run games and stuff like that. But more specifically, if you've barely ever played the game and you're new to DMing, you're new to playing, it's pretty much designed exactly for you.
Yep.
Want to run it at level 3, want to run at level 1, want to run 3 games, want to run 2, it's up to you. Do whatever you want. Pick your villain. That's the whole point of the book.
Yeah.
So I would say extremely friendly for newer players.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, we wanted to take like the starter set or the essentials kit and kind of simplify it and make it even easier for newer DMs to play and new players to play in.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, very little experience. This is for you.
Exactly.
All
right. So we'll take this last question here, and then we are going to take a little bit of a break. We'll be take about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back continuing to you guys' questions. But we will answer Blaze Ice Phoenix, who asks any advice for using one of the 3 one-shot adventures, one of the 3-shot adventures as the beginning of a campaign. I can't name any specific examples, but you could certainly, before any sort of maybe the pre-written 5th edition adventures that exist out there, if you perhaps do not want to run their 1st to 3rd level adventures that they offer in those books, not saying that they're bad necessarily, but maybe you want to use the Quest-O-Nomicon instead, you could very easily do so. Just change out some of the names and you'd be good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
I think you could fit most of them into like I know.
Yeah.
I think that like Escape from Old Redwick. That's really hard for me to say.
Wedwick.
Would
Wedwick.
probably run really well into like Curse of Strahd.
I was thinking that as well. These are the horror ones.
Shipwrecked and maybe Tomb of Annihilation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do Obsidian Cove into Salt Marsh.
Yes, yes, you could do Obsidian Coast and Salt Marsh. Coast Cove, Obsidian Cove. And you could do
Wispy Peak for Baldur's Gate, maybe? Not Baldur's Gate.
Descent of Avernus?
Maybe?
Yeah, you could also do Train Heist.
You
I
could do
think
Train House.
oh
You could do
Shipwrecked into I know it's not out yet, but Wild Beyond the Witchlight. That might
Yeah, a little bit.
be, add
Yeah.
some of that stuff in there.
Or maybe one of the stretch goal adventures.
Oh,
I think another one of the Stretch Goals adventures is good for Strahd as well.
oh.
Mm-hmm.
If only those were unlocked.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. Thank you everybody for the questions. We will be back in about 10-ish minutes to answer more of you guys' questions. So gear up for those. Get ready. Get your questions prepared, and we'll be right back. And once again, thank you guys so much for backing the project, being here, hanging out with us. We love you all very much, and we'll see you in just a bit. welcome back, everybody. Thank you for waiting and hanging out. That art, all of that art in that freaking brick, though. Oh my God, looks
seriously.
freaking great.
Seriously.
Yeah, I made the slideshow. That was I did
Well,
that
that
part.
was
The rest of it is just I was like, it looks like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it came
We
out
had-
so good.
Yeah, our art director and all the artists that she
Worked on the
is
project, yeah.
Amazing.
incredible.
So good. Yeah. So they nailed the type of style that we wanted, and God, it's just like I've never gotten like an art piece and been like, that needs to change. It's like it's all good. It's all perfect. It's amazing. So yeah. All right, so if you guys want to shoot me some more questions, go for it. We will take the time to answer them. Although I will heavily favor your questions if they are more Quest-O-Nomicon related, as that's the whole point of the stream. So yeah, you want to drop down some questions towards us. So yeah, Lord Faust asks, does this book add new mechanics to the Artificer? No, not really. Not a whole lot of content like that in this book. More of an adventure book. Not a whole lot of like spells and character options and things like that. Though there is an artificer in the game. There is an artificer character in the Shipwrecked adventure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Which one of the adventures is called Shipwrecked.
Yep.
It's one of the seafaring adventures that I wrote, where, as the name entails, you are shipwrecked.
You are.
Just what? I didn't realize that was the adventure.
Yeah. It's well specifically Tyler. It's shipwrecked. Shipwrecked. With an
Oh,
exclamation
yeah.
mark. We were very we really wanted that exclamation mark in there. And every time we'd go into the manuscript, Tyler would be like, click, and he'd delete it. And Colton and I were like, it needs the exclamation mark, Tyler! And then we took a vote and we argued about it for months, and the exclamation mark stayed.
Yeah. I was the tiebreaker without knowing it. It just came out and you guys were like, what looks better? That one. All right.
I know you didn't at me, James Thatcher, but you did forgot to ask, where is this being printed? I am not 100% sure. So, yeah, I don't know. Somewhere it's being printed.
You could probably ask
Probably
on the
Goblins on
Kickstarter.
the Moon, I think is where it's being printed.
If you wanted an actual answer, I would suggest either commenting on the Kickstarter or emailing the help email that is probably on the Kickstarter somewhere, or
Yeah. Thank you, Spencer, for the real answer.
yeah, because
Appreciate that.
we don't know, but the people who are actually doing a really cool job of helping us run this, they know.
Yeah, exactly. Is Colton not? Sir Banana asks, is Colton not here because of work, or is that a cover up because he never got out of the sketch?
Both. Oh, I think he's actually just stuck right there. I never noticed that.
Colton, can you hear us? Colton.
Did you give him water today?
Colton.
Oh no.
Colton.
I don't think he's had water in like 2 days. He's probably really dehydrated.
Yeah, probably. Oh, I think we're losing the stream here for a second.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry. Colton screwed with the stream there for a second. Jeez. Got
I'm sure he'll
broken
wake up in
partially.
like 10, 15 minutes.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just frozen there. That's kind of weird. He's probably just in his
Oh, he
own little
glitched.
demi-plane. Yeah.
Did you see him? He like spasmed.
Yeah,
That's not
the
good.
stream is also glitchy. I think we should stop referring to him because
Right,
the
right.
stream is actually glitching
Okay,
out
yeah.
because of it. So, all right. Oh, by the way, I got an official answer. The minis are not primed, so you gotta prime them. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you just take those minis. You just you take that prime, you just spray it on those minis. It'll look great.
But don't put too much,
Why not?
because then all the detail is lost in the primer if you put it on too thick.
Yeah, no, you just like dunk it into the primer.
Yeah.
Right? That works,
yeah,
right?
Totally. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you talk about what are the trinkets and treasures collection? Are they physical props?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Should ask Simon to double check.
I should.
But
Yes. I'll hold off on that one and wait for an actual answer. I think so. Yes. I think they're like actual
Hannah.
things you get to hand.
Hannah, Simon, if someone's here.
Just start panicking and running around. We're that bit in SpongeBob where they're throwing the papers everywhere. There's fire. We're just like yeah.
As far as I'm aware, yes. But
Seth Franken asks, will there be a hard copy of the book?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. You just have to wait a while for it.
Yes. You get the PDF quicker than
Yep.
you get the hardcover. So yeah.
Yep.
All right.
It takes time to produce.
Yep. Exactly. The theater guy asks, can we get a module based around the wizard? JK, congrats though.
The wizard doesn't deserve that. He's
An evil, evil man.
he is.
But then again,
He stole
oh.
he stole Jacob's dad's car. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
He crashed it.
Yeah. Da Zero Heavy asks, please answer, does the Quest-O-Nomicon add anything like Descendant to Avernus style boat stat blocks?
There's boats in Descent to Avernus.
Piquito?
Poquito.
A tiny boat?
Well, yes, a tiny boat. There might be
tiny boat.
a stat block or so for a boat.
A
Oh.
boat?
Well,
Oh.
two technically, depending upon what it is.
Depending on maybe a stretch goal of Tyler's creation.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Oh, we got an answer.
Oh.
For the trinkets.
All right, so we got an answer here. The trinkets will consist of at least 4 sculpted and painted hero trinkets, along with a deck of item cards featuring many of the magical items, MacGuffins, and other cool stuff in the book.
Oh.
There you go.
So yeah,
So a few of them are physical and then some are on cards?
Yeah, so you
super
can be
cool.
like, well, when you go into this area, this is what you find. Wham!
Awesome.
So yeah,
Yep.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, these guys are making some awesome products.
Yeah.
They are
Absolutely.
very, very cool.
Are-
Highly recommend you get a tier that can get them. But, of course, always, get whatever you can
Yeah.
afford because you do you. But, I mean, the basic one that gets you the physical book also gets you some dice, and that is
Mhm.
pretty sick.
Pretty much what we say is get what you can afford, but if you can't afford it, we definitely suggest getting the higher tiers.
I want those dice so bad. The second they come, that's all I'm going to use for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Ravensfan3296 asks, when does it ship? Sometime next year.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
It really depends on when we can get everything set up, when the production pipeline and everything like that, and when things get shipped and how things are shipped. So things are still up in the air, but
Yeah.
the goal is sometime next year.
Yeah. Tate and Gray asks, is the Dornjan one of the adventures?
No.
No.
That
You know how
thing
funny
is
that would
the-
be though? I was just did a live stream to be like, guys, I'm just really struggling on Quest-O-Nomicon content here. I need you to come up with something for me.
I mean, I was like, people were talking to me on the Discord at one point. I'm like, I'm literally hitting a writer's block right now. So they just started talking about random shit, and I was able to like get me out of the writer's block. Hours
Yeah.
where I was writing stuff. I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
It's great.
Um,
But yeah. The origin is you getting through writer's block, right?
oh, of course. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Mowgli the cat asks, how is loot handled in the adventures? Is it all up to the DM, or are there some adventure-related items already in the book? All of the rewards and treasure and magic items are all preset in the book already. There are I think there's there's maybe a couple bits where there are a few random sort of treasure that you can get, it's like a D4 gold or something like that, or maybe times 10 or something along the lines of that. But a lot of the treasure in the game has been kind of preset, and we have quite a few magic items in the book already that are unique to the Quest-O-Nomicon that you can get rewarded in the book, which some of them come on those cool item cards.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Actually, I feel them
yeah.
probably will. And maybe one or two might be physical too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Glaz9001 asks, who wrote which adventures? Who wrote the first Western and the second Western adventure? I think we could go through and talk about
Yeah, sure.
which one that's in the book.
We can say the we can probably say the name.
Just
of
say
the
the
adventure.
names, so
Yeah.
you can have that written down for whenever you decide to go there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the book, but if you guys want to know, we can go. All right, so we got the 2 fantasy adventures. We've got
Jake's like, what are they called?
I also got a message here saying that August, September next year shipping. So that's when we got our shipping.
So sometime between August and September.
Yeah, exactly.
So around a year?
About a year. But definitely get the PDF probably sooner than
Yeah.
that. So
Yep.
yeah. Cool. All right, so we've got 2 fantasy adventures. We've got Hunt for Haldraxis, which is mine. I wrote that one. Oh, and by the way, I say mine. I mean, like, I creatively directed it. I had a lot of help from everybody else. We all kind of pitched in ideas, did things here, but like that person was the lead creative on that adventure.
So it's like one person's like the primary writer, but then everyone has gone through, gave suggestions, gave modifications if they needed it.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
So we all had a hand in everything, but some people had more of a hand than others.
Yeah. So Hunt for Haldraxis, I wrote that one. And then the other fantasy adventure is Whispers of Wispy Peak. Colton wrote that one. Our 2 Western adventures are Bulwarks of Bullthorn, which Colton wrote. And then the other Western adventure is The Heist. I wrote that one. The Seafaring adventures are Shipwrecked. I wrote that one. And the Treasure of Obsidian Cove. Treasure of Obsidian Cove was Tyler's. And then our 2 horror adventures are Escape from Old Redwick, which I wrote with the help of Spencer. Spencer provided a lot of feedback for that one, and it was very fun to write that adventure with you. We got to make it super spooky. Which was great. And the other horror adventure is Lost Spirits. I know the names. So just take me a second. And you wrote that one, Tyler. Yep. And then our 2 post-apocalyptic adventures are The Sunderdome, which I wrote, and The Doomed Heroes, which Tyler wrote. So those are all of those in there.
Do you want to reference anything of the stretch goals, or give us?
We will. I think we'll wait on those ones because I don't want to give any ideas there. We gotta unlock them, guys. We gotta get them. All right, we gotta get them. You gotta get those ones. But from what we've unlocked already, the Keep In, Colton wrote that one. The Flintfall Mine you wrote, and the Wandering Mansion I wrote.
Yep. So and I said mine are not unlocked yet.
No. Yeah. So yes, that is what is happening. Yeah. All right. So Shuriken Sean, hey bud, asks, what class would Sir Nominus be? I think he's kind of like that Puffin Forest video with Absurd. He's like a level in every class.
Right. Which is why he rolls poorly and often, but
actually, you know
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think he's actually like he levels up. And then, like, he takes time off and de-levels back to 1 and then goes into a different class and then, like, takes some time off and then goes back. So, like, he's been almost every class, I'd say.
He probably has 1 level in Bard no matter what, and then kind of cross-passes every single other one.
I don't think he's ever gone into Cleric, though, because I think that would have kept him alive.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, probably never been Cleric, because every time he just casts Turn Undead, he just becomes scared of himself. Yeah.
You know how hilarious that would be, though?
Yeah.
He's just like, Turn Undead! Ah! It's just self-doubt. It's just sad.
Oh, no.
All right, let's look here. Bry Frost asks, or is it Bree Frost? I'm sorry. Bree Frost asks, what are your favorite villains in the book? Oh, what a question. What a question there. Well, one of the ones that I wrote that is my favorite is Azeraphis. He is the sort of Western, kind of looks like Doc Holliday devil who has a big old score aboard the train that you get to go heist. You get to go heist that score. So that's probably one of my favorites. Although from Adventure that is not mine, I really like the Minstrel in
I was gonna say
Whispers of Wispy Peak. The Minstrel is, and that's his name. He probably has a name, but he goes by the Minstrel.
Yeah.
So I really love the design of the Othkatha from Doomed Heroes. It's just, that thing is just so what in the world. But I think in terms of like the characters themselves, I like both of the villains in Obsidian Cove, because they both are so different, but have a similar goal, and I don't know, they just have a very interesting connection to the story in the way that they do, and they also like are so interesting how they kind of not necessarily how they change the story, but their own like flavor that they have.
Yeah,
you have a spooky ghost person. And then Captain CRC Avalon, which I don't know how deep I want to get into saying what she is. She's a person, kind of. Yes, person, kind of. Humanoid.
Mm-hmm.
Leave it at that.
Afraid to get wet. What's villain you
I was
like,
gonna
Spencer?
agree with you and say the minstrel.
The minstrel.
Yeah.
Yes. The minstrel.
The
I also
minstrel.
really like Crazy Kelly Rowland.
Oh, yeah.
The ghost of Crazy Kelly Rowland.
Ghost of Crazy Kelly
Because
Rowland.
he's not a guy. He's a ghost.
He's a
now.
ghost.
Ghost.
Yeah. Are ghosts guys?
Well, I think he's a guy.
He's a guy.
He's a guy that's a ghost.
Oh.
Hang on, wait. I think
Whoa.
we're getting some interference
He's-
here now.
Hey, he's moving
Is
again.
Colton unlocked out from the sketch? Or is he coming free slowly?
I think he's.
Colton, if you are free from the sketch from XP to level 3, just walk over and sit next to
But bring a
Tyler,
chair.
Tyler and
Bring a
Spencer,
chair.
okay? Oh, he's moving! He's moving! Oh my god,
It's
he's
happening.
moving! He's moving, guys, he's moving! Oh my god, he's free! He's free! He's
Whoa.
here!
And he brought a chair.
Oh my
I brought a chair.
god! It's Colton, he's
You
here!
have to go grab one.
Oh, yeah,
I
let me
wanna
get
take
you.
it. I'm back. No, I got it.
Get a mic.
You do your thing.
Okay, I will. Colton was able to join. Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So another. What were we just talking about?
Crazy.
Crazy Kelly Rowland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he a ghost or a guy? He's a
Ghost guy.
He's a ghost,
Ghost
guy.
guy.
Ghost guy.
Ghost guy.
There you go.
Kurt donates $50
Oh,
and
hi.
says, "Congrats on the book and the marriage." Oh, thank you.
Yes.
What adventure in the book are each of you most proud of? Excited to hear tales of other people playing. I'm excited for the final product. Dude, you guys are knocking it out with these questions. I am so hyped to hear about people talk about their Doomed Heroes games. Because those I just feel will be crazy.
Yeah.
But more specifically for me, it would be Train Heist. I'm Train Heist is kind of like my baby. I love that one. When I was super proud of it when I was finished with it, and it is definitely one of my favorites that I was able to write. And I very much look forward to hearing how you guys handle that adventure, because I don't know what you're gonna do. There's so many different ways to play it. So I'd love to hear your stories once you guys get the book of how you run that one. What about you guys?
I think I'm the same as you, but the other way around, where
Yeah.
I'm like super interested in seeing like the heist as well, because I think it's the same kind of thing. Seeing how people go through that really super interesting. But of my own, Doomed Heroes is like the most like out there, and like I want to know what happens in your guys's stories as you go through that one, because it's just so that one is easily that one and Thunderdome are like just what and wow, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Colton has now joined.
I have.
Welcome to the
Hello.
Q&A. You are here
Why
now.
Why did you point to me and take me off?
What?
Nothing.
Because he's talking.
Nothing.
What?
I get it.
What?
What?
Wait, we can sync this up. What?
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 Okay.
How long are we doing this?
So stupid. Okay. Colton, what's an adventure that you are you're really proud of that you or here, let me read the question here.
Sure.
Which adventure in the book are you most proud of? Excited to hear tales of other people playing.
Okay. I would say for me probably Bulwarks of Bullthorn. I feel like that one's really a little bit different with the start, because a lot of the choices you make at the beginning, as you know, it should changes what happens later on, but it really affects like the NPCs and the people that live in the town, and so I think it's really interesting from that perspective of like what does it do to the character specifically, and not just maybe the challenges that the players face. So I think that's
I feel like there's just so
really
much
fun.
choice in Bullthorn too
Yeah.
about how the players want to go about everything as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it really is like, here's an open map. Figure out how you want to solve the problem at hand.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. So, and I feel like no two groups would finish that adventure specifically like the same way, which is pretty awesome. Cool. What did you say, Spencer? Did you answer the question?
I did not. I think Thunderdome or Shipwreck. I think those two are like I don't know. I think they're the craziest for me.
Yeah.
Or I feel like people are going to solve all of them differently, especially Shipwrecked.
Yeah.
I was gonna say especially Thunderdome.
So yeah, Thunderdome.
All of them have
Yeah.
good open endings.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Dan Zero Heavy asks, how does it feel that RuneSmith is now advertising your Kickstarter now? How would you rank his advertisement versus yours for Stibbles? I sang a song for taverns. So that's all I expect, Logan. I expect you to sing a song
He's
for,
not watching
for
this.
Quest-O-Nomicon.
No,
Not watching this.
Logan's ads are hey, Jacob's doing a thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he's my sort of buddy, sort of rival. So go check it out.
Are me and RuneSmith friends? Are we rivals? I think we're both.
Both, yeah.
Ever since that video,
Yeah.
the fateful day that he left the channel.
Yeah, that day. Oh man. When will the playtest material come out? I'm not 100% certain on that one, guys. So that might be a question for you to drop down into the comments or email to the people of the stuff.
The people and the stuff.
Yeah.
I think generally speaking, anything that we can't answer, there's a ask us directly on the FAQs
Yes.
Yeah.
that will take you to someone that can probably answer it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Securit donated $5 and said, jumped on the hardcover today. Can't wait. Thank you so
Whoa.
much. Appreciate it. All right. What is this question? Angelo, how much physical / labor work do you guys participate in general?
does going to the gym count?
Yes. What? I just thought it was funny. How much labor, physical labor, do you do on a daily basis?
I don't know. I drag speakers around at my other job.
You definitely do
count?
the most, Colton. 100%.
And you go to the gym, and just sit in a chair all day. So
Yeah.
Occasionally I go walk on the treadmill in our garage, and
There
I
you go.
carry boxes at work sometimes.
Yeah.
That's hard to do in the current weather, though. Be like, I'm gonna go walk around
in the
the
garage.
garage.
Jerry
but it's me,
Axel-
though.
Oh, sorry. Jerry Axelo asks, will there be content for introducing new players? Like we said kind of earlier, the whole book is basically for new players.
Yep.
It is also totally for experienced players as well. We really made sure to have adventures for both, and it's not just kind of singling out one group or not. So if you played a lot of D&D, you're good. I hope you get a lot out of this book. But if you're brand new, we have a whole introduction and section for the entirety of the book to help you DM. So Nominus not only has his notes all over the book that can help you DM, but also the introduction to the book can provide you a lot of context, tips, and help with running the game.
And then also, correct me if I'm wrong, but some of those tips and stuff with help with the game is also helping the GM with new players and helping them find motivations and
Yeah.
ways to create.
Yeah.
So we definitely wanted to put in, part of the goal was because early level adventures are sometimes difficult to find, ones that are exceedingly well done that lead into whatever. And so one of the primary goals was to make those early level adventures that are accessible both for new players and experienced players.
Yeah,
So
100%. So Charles Stebbins asks, oh wait, sorry. I got punished for bad puns asks, I have just hopped into the stream. I get punished for bad puns.
it's okay, me too.
I have just hopped into the stream and don't know if this question was asked, but is there a preferred adventure that you'd suggest to try first?
Ooh,
Interesting question.
that's a good question.
That has not been asked yet.
That's a really good question.
Hunt for Haldraxis.
Hunt for Haldraxis?
I agree.
Why Hunt for Haldraxis?
It's just basic D&D. It's a fantasy you hunt a dragon.
Yeah, it's the most D&D
Yeah.
of the
And if
Wow.
you
Yeah.
if you have a group
went
of
to that one and went, let's make one with a dungeon and a
And a-
dragon.
yeah.
Yeah.
if you have,
That's what. Yeah, that's
you have four
accurate.
friends who have never played D&D before and they want to play it,
Yeah.
everyone who thinks of it thinks
yeah.
of a dungeon and a dragon, and
Yeah.
that's what you get.
Unless they very specifically want to play a different theme.
Yeah.
I would say. Like
Yeah,
if you really want to get into the Western or the seafaring,
Yeah.
then obviously play one of those. But Hunt for Haldraxis is definitely a solid.
It's
Solid option.
It's a solid introduction.
Mm-hmm.
100%, I would agree. I would also say that a pretty good introduction one would be Obsidian Cove. I feel like that one is also like a pretty good
Yeah.
sort of intro, sort of. It's a seafaring one, but it's definitely Oh, that's the other thing. I know we have a bunch of themes in these, but they're all still based in 5th edition.
Yeah.
So, it's got magic, it's fantasy still. It's just kind of themed a little bit, kind of in one direction or not.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, oh, geez, sorry, I'm just reading through these questions here. Just trying to make sure. Whoa, sorry. Okay, so Flameface Gaming asks, agree or disagree? People who say GM instead of DM are the type of people who like clay in their soup. What?
What does that mean?
What?
They both do the same thing.
They're the same. It's the same thing.
It's just a
Game
different
Master,
letter.
Yeah.
They're even only like 3 letters apart. It's not even like that. It's not like we're saying like ZM or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly.
What would that mean?
Zia?
I don't know.
Zia.
Zoomaster?
But
Zoom
Ellen
Master.
Anderson asks, will the various adventure themes all still fit into a typical D&D fantasy setting? I just answered that.
Yes.
Yes.
I would say yes.
Maybe we could talk about that a little more if you guys wanted to.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. So all of the adventures still run off of the basic rule set. So they also have magic and subclasses and everything like that. Just some are more leaning towards certain types of genres than others. So Hunter for Atrax, for instance, leans into the fantasy. It's very much, I guess you can call it high fantasy. While something like The Heist leans into like a Western one, so it has kind of more Western flavors of things. It still has all these magic and these creatures and things like that, but it definitely has that kind of flavor of the Wild West. And then on the very opposite side, you have like Doomed Heroes, which is much more of like this almost like technological magic kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say
place.
Doomed Heroes is probably the most
It's
separated.
the most
Yeah.
separated.
Yeah.
That was the
from
most
typical fantasy.
Yes, but it's still magic. It still has
Yeah.
creatures. It still has the classes
Yeah.
and things like that. It's still this. It's still fantasy, but it's not. But it definitely takes a few steps away from standard fantasy. But it can. But you could just. But part of it is it can also be open. You can literally put.
You can put it wherever you want.
You can literally put that adventure into the Forgotten Realms and just you have this more technological city in there, which
Eberron.
Eberron is like
Yeah.
that. It kind of has kind of that kind of feel to it. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and we wanted to make sure that all of those, those themes have those in there. So yeah, shouldn't feel too out of place for you to run them. Should feel just right at home.
Yep.
So Blaze Ice Phoenix has asked a lot of pretty good questions during this live stream. How long would you say a session of one of those adventures would be on average? Since I know everyone plays it differently. We answered this one earlier, but I guess we can answer it again.
Yeah.
We were saying about 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
You get them done.
That was really our goal too
Yeah.
when we were writing them. There was some that we were writing where we were looking at it and it was like, all right, we need to figure out a way to make this session actually fit into one session and not be a 7-hour marathon.
Yeah.
We just had so many ideas, and so it wasn't that we took anything out, but it was that we reworked it to make it really fit that single session like sweet spot that we were looking for, and especially playing with or making something for people that isn't our group. Our groups back in the day, we even would do like 10 to 12 hour sessions, but we know that that's not something for everyone, and so we wanted to make something that fits in a real sweet spot of like not too long but not too short either. So
Yeah, exactly. And then Cameron Ayers asks, how well will these adventures be able to fit into higher level campaigns? Which is a question we already kind of answered a little bit, but not the most. You could fit them into higher level campaigns if you wanted to boost up the encounters, make them a little bit stronger. But like we've been saying, it's entirely possible. We just didn't put that in there. So they're definitely based for levels 1 through 3. But if you want to, you totally could.
Unless you have it be the starting.
I was gonna say
place
you
for
could
the
could also
campaign.
every game has after the third of the 3-shot, I guess, has a open path that as a suggestion for the GM if they wanted to take it off and kind of branch off into their own homebrew stuff, or whatever you wanted to branch off into out of that. So you could totally branch it off into something higher level. It's just that the adventures themselves are not intended to be played at a high level.
Yeah, exactly. Pursuit of Happiness asks, how much of the book is already written? I'm asking from a fulfillment standpoint. Also, is there going to be a 2-phase release, PDF, feedback, hardcover, otherwise? We're in editing phase right now. We've completely finished writing the manuscript. So we're done. We know everything that's going to be in the book. So that's where we're at with that. So no, I don't think there's going to be like a 2-part PDF fulfillment or anything. When it's out, it's the whole thing. So,
And that kind of goes with everything. So we kind of know everything generally. So unless there's late things that it goes
Yeah.
crazy, but
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's future. That's future us worries.
Yeah, exactly. Flameface Gaming asks, do most adventures in the book require the party to use magic? My players sometimes form a party with no mages, and I'm wondering if there are any adventures which don't require a mage. Yes, I'm very happy to say yes. If your entire party does not play a mage, you're good.
I don't think when we were reviewing all of our stuff, I don't think we have one adventure that requires someone to be a mage in order to.
Even when there were bits where it's like, oh, you would need to unlock this door with thieves' tools, we would go in and be like, well, what if the characters don't have a rogue? And it's like, oh, okay, well, so we need an alternative.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we definitely went through and made sure that there isn't, like, all of these, you know, you don't have a cleric, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we didn't want to do that.
You can have.
I'd say any combination.
You can have no magic
Yeah.
parties. You can have all magic parties. It really is.
Now I want to hear of a party of like 4 champion fighters just going through all of the adventures.
Yeah,
Smash their
exactly.
way through.
Exactly, that'd be funny. All right, so Matt asks, is there any Feywild-inspired stories?
Yep.
Leave it at that.
Is there?
I will say yes, there is.
One of them.
You can maybe perhaps find them in one of the seafaring adventures. A little bit
Whoa.
of
Little
Feywild
bit.
inspiration there.
One of
Whoa!
those.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe perhaps the one oh, you know what? I'll leave it up to everybody else who's been paying attention. The seafaring adventure that I wrote. There you go.
There you go.
Little bit of Feywild.
Oh. This is the VOD. You can go back.
Damn it! Oh yeah, just to let you guys know, everybody's watching live right now. VOD Squad, what's up? How you doing?
Hi.
You already know this.
Yo.
But live dudes, VOD Squad is such a cool rhyme, and we don't have one for live.
Live lads?
Live lads.
What about ladies?
All right, live lads.
Live what?
What about ladies?
That's true.
And
Non-binary
thems.
friends.
Live lads and ladies?
Live
That kind of works.
live lads, ladies, and themsies.
Themsies.
Sure. Yeah.
There you go.
The VOD's gonna go up on Arcade after this, so that's where you'll find this after that.
Cool.
So yeah, that just letting you guys know if you want to watch the VOD later, it'll be on the other channel. Just going through, guys. If you want to ask a question, make sure to at me. I'm only gonna read the ones that at me because they're easier to sort through.
Yeah. We gotta,
All right. A Split Mango asks, earlier you talked about Tyler's custom game mechanic, which may or may not be perhaps an stretch goal
It
adventure
is.
that we would really like to get to. Are there any more of content similar to that?
I mean, another one of mine is there's custom game mechanics in some of the other adventures, like Doom Heroes, maybe.
Oh, in Doom Heroes, perhaps there is a little game mechanic that you could add to maybe any game that wouldn't just be in the Quest-O-Nomicon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh,
Interesting.
whoa.
Very interesting. Very strange.
So yes, there are some. Not
Yeah.
all of them have that, but there
Yeah.
are quite a few that do.
Yeah, definitely. Jerry Axelo asks, are there any new monsters?
Yes.
Yeah, there are. There's a lot.
Uh-huh.
They are more built for their early level games. So actually, yeah, we could talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
So obviously, Hunt for Haldraxxus has you fighting a dragon.
Right.
Yeah.
A level 1 party cannot fight a dragon.
No.
No.
So that's why Haldraxxus is a very specific stat block that we made, so that your party can fight a dragon at level 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and that's true for basically every stat block we have in the book. It's designed specifically for the level and the encounter difficulty of that adventure. And so there will be things that you look at it like a dragon and be like, oh, my players are fighting this? Oh, I see how they can do this now. And so yeah, everything's curated specifically so you don't accidentally kill your players like level 1 has been known to do.
Yeah, and I also say it's not just the how we built the stat blocks themselves, but we also give very specific not rules, but suggestions on how to
Tactics.
run.
Yeah.
Tactics. We give pretty much all of the features tactics of how they operate in the encounter. So
Yeah.
it's not just here's a stat block, go. It's both you can understand how this creature can work and also what they will be doing in their turns, and so it becomes a you can understand how the encounter might go without even
Exactly.
going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of leads back into the newer GM guide like feeling of what we wanted to hit with this, where it's like, sometimes even me, and I've played a long time, but I haven't GM'd a long time. And so I'll look and I'll be like, how exactly should I run this monster?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, there's a tactic here. This is how they run. Cool. But if you want to, you can just ignore that and kind of run it your own way. But we wanted to make sure that was there for ease of access for people that needed it or wanted it.
Yeah.
So.
This book is more like guidelines. Actually.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Kairu W asks, how are you all today?
Very
Good.
well.
I'm powered.
Yeah.
I stayed up till like 8 a.m. and then went to sleep and woke up at 4 p.m. and here I am.
Yep.
I slept.
I am feeling very, very grateful and very, very happy
Yeah.
And thankful for all of you.
Seriously.
100%.
But it's been a weird, wacky, wild day.
Yeah.
Little strange, little quirky, little weird.
I would say it hold on.
Sick.
I'm dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been coughing a lot recently. It's not fun. Oh no. I feel like it hasn't completely hit me yet about what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, those are nice numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's more than that. But it's definitely like, it's gonna take time to kind of like process
Exactly.
what's
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely.
Universe B official channel asks, is there quests with spiders, and are there alternate options for players who have arachnophobia? So, sort of. There's not like, I think we do, like, there's probably a few spiders. Do we have any spiders?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
One is close.
Oh, wait, yeah, actually, there's something that's close. Yeah. Something
That's the only
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you
Well,
could change the description of the thing.
Basically, you could do that, or we made sure to go through and add content warnings to all of the adventures, so that you can, before you run the game, you can look at the type of content that's in it, and if that's something you want to run that you're okay with, you can let your players know, and you can be prepared in that
Turn
way.
them
instead
into
of
like
being,
little crabs. or
subtly
something.
sensitive thing that somebody doesn't like.
Yeah, no.
Or at least we tried. We tried as best as we could.
Yeah, yeah.
Cover
of
everything
course.
we could think of.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just scrolling through questions here. Kurt, if you make $1 million, who will leave their day jobs first? This is my day job.
Me.
Actually, I was gonna say,
You.
I think we're you and I are the only ones where this isn't kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
our day job. So
Yeah, I mean, this kind of was.
I mean,
This is my life.
I don't work a lot, but I wouldn't hurt to not work.
All right. Let's look here. Oh, geez. Jax Uzakami said those numbers are 177,903 right now. For those who don't know. Dang!
I think it's gone
Sheesh,
up
guys.
since
It's
this
gone up
too.
since then,
Yeah.
too.
Really?
Yeah.
Guys, we
Yeah.
get that.
oh, it's up on the
Next
Yeah,
stretch
it's up
goal
on
is at $200,000.
Whoa.
We get that one. That I didn't like saying $200,000. I just said that, and it just kind of became real
That-
funny right
that
there, and I was
hit
like,
the question is can we hit it before the stream goes off?
Whoa.
Oh, you know what got me was
What?
Jordan earlier saying that he was the third person to donate to
Oh.
the Kickstarter. I was like,
That was really cool.
Yeah.
support.
He almost got
Seriously,
number
thank you,
one.
guys.
He almost did. He wanted
Yeah.
that mace, the book mace.
Just so you know, Colton, within the past hour, it's gone up by 10,000.
Yeah, I've been watching.
It was your presence on the stream.
Yeah.
Made it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
It's going up.
That's exactly it. All right, let's look.
the loyal Colton fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, the loyal Colton fans.
Totally.
Shuriken Sean asks, how does it feel that you may see D&D streams in the future playing your adventures? That I
Didn't even think about that.
No, now you put that in my mind, and wow, that would be crazy. Watch people play a game that we wrote.
That would be like a out of body experience.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely,
just like-
definitely. If
I
any
would
of you guys
simply
do that,
ascend. I would just.
Yeah.
if any of you guys do that, definitely like tell us.
Yeah, at
'cause
me
we
on
will,
Twitter.
We will check
do
it
something.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
100%.
poke our heads in once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Also,
hi, Shuriken Sean.
Oh yeah, he's been here for a while.
Cormac Lynch asks, in the Western-themed one, how far does the technology go? As they're magic making the train run, does it revolve around magic? Are there new firearms? They're more magic-based. The firearms are a little mechanical, but also kind of magical-based as well, and the train is also like magically kind of made. So it's more on the magic side than the tech side.
Yeah.
Although you could totally change it if you wanted to.
100%. Definitely.
Just scrolling through more
Scrolling
questions
through.
here. Love how many of you guys are here and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
It's really great.
Gabriel Tilly asks, I love writing stories, but I have trouble being a good DM. Do you have any tips? I have lots of tips. They're on the XP Level 3 channel. All my tips. But the book itself has lots of tips, not only from Sir Nominus, but in the introduction, we have Sir Nominus's DM notes, basically, that can help you be a bit of a better GM, help you get into it as well. So if you want some big tips that we got to write and helping you be a better GM, check out the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Clayton Leman says, favorite food?
Favorite food?
That is not Quest-O-Nomicon
Chips.
related, Clayton. I'm just kidding. Chips?
Chips.
Wow, we're not having
Is
this
it
discussion
specifically
right now.
Takis?
No, just
Takis
chips.
aren't chips, so
Really?
Colton just had to start a Takis aren't
Chips.
chips. So just saying, they're a snack.
We're not getting into this
Takis are
debate right
chips.
now.
Chips have to be flat.
They don't.
They don't.
Yep.
No, they don't.
Yep. Chips
All
have,
right,
they have
chat.
to be flat. They have to be flat in order for them to be a chip.
No, I disagree.
Well, I
What would
disagree
you
with
call-
you.
Are Fritos
I was
chips?
gonna say our freeze chips.
Fritos are not chips.
Okay, I'm cutting this off. Jacob will go for hours.
Would
He
that
will go
mean,
for hours
like
about this
wheat thins or
topic.
chips then?
Cole,
Wheat
Tyler,
thins are crackers.
Tyler, please.
They're not potatoes.
By the way, pizza.
Neither are
But
tortilla
there you
chips.
go.
So tortilla chips on a potato.
A tortilla and potato are different. A tortilla chip is a chip.
But the tortilla
But
chip
not
isn't
potato.
necessarily
Okay,
straight.
we actually will argue about this for hours.
Not even Lay's
I'm cutting
chips.
you off.
are-
I'm cutting you off.
Flat.
Does I got punished for bad puns? Asked
love that name.
does the book flesh out the villains for potential use as BBGs for campaigns? If someone would want to use a villain as the main focus of their campaign, you could.
Yeah.
You could totally do
I
it
mean,
if you wanted
there's-
to. We don't go through the motions of being like, if you wanted to use this big villain in a campaign of your own, here's how you can use them. They're pretty set and locked into the adventures in the Quest-O-Nomicon. But
Yeah.
I mean,
You absolutely
you
could.
could
Every-
take that art and take that description and be like, this is my new villain for my
And-
campaign.
And I
Yeah.
would say most of them do have, or at least the ones I know I wrote, have quite a bit of backstory, lore,
Yeah, you could just extend it out.
personality things.
Yeah,
so just
I
extend it out a little bit.
I would definitely say it definitely hones in on like why is the villain doing what they're doing in this adventure and what is their personality so that you know kind of how to run them.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, you could with that much information, you could definitely I think take them if you wanted to and put them in your own thing.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Nice.
You can absolutely take things from this book and just use it for your own stuff.
Yep.
I think that's kind of part of it.
Famine52 says, hoping to get the $250 pledge when I get paid next. As far as I'm aware, as far as information goes, you won't get charged until the end of the campaign.
That is
so
accurate.
you can pledge now, and you can pay for it later. So
yeah.
get on it, do it,
Yep.
go.
And for those of you that pledge now, be aware that you won't be charged until the end of the campaign.
Which
so
is
don't.
the 9th
Yeah.
of October, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, and here's another question in here.
31 days, if you want.
31 days.
31
Whatever
days.
31 days is.
Whoa.
Ian Spreitzer asks, how many low-level dungeons are there? With a lot of question marks. Started my own school D&D club and need this for a low-level party of new kids. I just want to say that you specifically are like the demographic that we wanted
Yeah.
to kind of hit with this.
Yeah,
book.
definitely.
Not every adventure has a dungeon, but most of the adventures have dungeons. So just pick one and run one with the dungeon, and you can run it a bunch of different ways if you want to, or run any one of the other adventures. They could be one shots or three shots.
Yep.
So
Say
go for it.
most of them are age appropriate for children too. So I mean,
Yeah.
a few of them maybe you might not want to run for, depending on how old they are. But
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why we have the content warnings.
Yeah,
and
content
stuff,
warnings.
to make sure that you can kind of vet it, make sure that it's what you
Yep.
want
Yeah.
or whatever group
Yep.
you may be running for.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Split Mango asks, to further expand on the villain question, do they have motivations and are they realistic? I don't know. I hope so.
That was the goal.
I think so.
That was
They-
the goal.
They definitely have motivations. Whether or not they're realistic is up to you to decide.
They're about as real. Yeah, they're about as realistic as a D&D villain can get. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I would say some of them have pretty realistic motivations.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing an all-out evil villain. That's
Yeah,
just
that's-
bad and whatnot. But the
Yep.
whole point of the Quest-O-Nomicon is that you can decide that.
Yep.
So, do you want the more nuanced villain, which we definitely have, or do you want more of the big evil? I'm just evil and I have no nuance, and you just get to kill me kind of villain, which is always kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody asked, they want to know what my eyes taste like. I'm pretty sure they taste like eyes. So, just saying.
Eyes?
Yeah, like my eyes, they probably just taste like eyes.
All
saying.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Next.
So, all right,
Ooh.
let's look in here. Who is your Steel Gavin asks, who's your favorite non-villain character from the book?
I like there are a set of NPCs in the heist,
Oh yeah.
and two of them are from like a game that we played. It was a home game, our Wednesday night game, and I like that you incorporated them into the book. And I like what they're doing in the book, but I can't say what they are doing. So.
Yeah, you guys will just have to find out. I think one of my favorite NPCs is there's art of it, so I'll give it a little bit. There is somebody in Obsidian Cove, a character who is trapped in a figurehead, and the figurehead is a being where somebody got trapped inside of that. That was in your adventure. I quite like that NPC.
She's one of my favorite NPCs that I created. I think another one of mine is actually a stretch goal one, so I won't give too much on it. But what I will say is that this NPC was originally a character I created for a campaign we were going to play in, and we never did. So I just repurposed them and put them
Tyler,
into
you're
my-
answering the question correctly. That character is a villain.
Not main villain.
They're just
They're
a
NPC.
side villain.
They're a side villain.
Okay. Colton, what's your favorite NPC?
I would say I kind of hate this because mine's a little bit more like memey than your guys's, but of course it is. In Thunderdome, there is a trio of brothers, and that's all that I'll say.
Yeah.
Is that there's a trio of brothers. Otherwise, I would agree with Tyler. I can't say too much because my favorite one that I personally created is is part of my stretch goal stuff that I worked on. And all that I'll say is that they are kind of waiting for the right moment and have kind of been like sitting around for a long time, being able to do nothing about their situation until the party comes along. And it's really cool. It was really cool to write a character that is like waiting for like this moment to occur and kind of figuring out what that looks like. So
yeah, exactly. I agree. I'm reading all the names here. Jax Uzakami asks, is there any way we could get the bookmarks autographed? Probably not, but here's my plan. You guys ready for my plan?
Oh, no.
Here's my little plan.
What's your plan?
Okay, so next year, we're gonna be at cons. We're probably gonna go to Gen Con and PAX. Probably, we'll see. Let you guys know.
Depending on
when the
world.
book ships or all that happens and what's going on. If you bring your Quest-O-Nomicon to any one of us, we'll 100% sign it.
Oh,
So,
yeah, definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
So if you guys
100%.
find us at one of those, we'll definitely do it.
Yeah.
And Angela Edelman asked who our favorite classes were and who is most often the DM, which is not Quest-O-Nomicon related, but hey, it's a fun question. We can answer it. I DM the most.
100% Jacob. Yeah.
You, then
You
me.
DM a little bit.
Actually,
I DM more
we're
now.
kind of in a row here.
Yeah.
And I would say that's
Yeah.
at least when it comes to this group. I would say actually, Spencer, you probably DM more than I do now
Yeah.
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 because you have your own little group that you
Yeah,
you
run a game for Emma and some of her friends.
Yep. And ready, because we answer this question all the time. Favorite class?
Bard.
Warlock.
I always have a hard time answering. I never have an answer.
Tyler, how could you?
Paladin or wizard.
All right, fair enough.
They're
Bard,
best.
easy. Bard is so much fun.
I
can
combining
always play a
classes. I
bard.
don't play one class. I combine them.
What?
And I saw the question in here and I can't find it now. Somebody had asked if the skeleton is in the adventures, and yeah, Sir Nominus does make a few appearances in the book.
Yeah.
So they're little Easter eggs. They're a little hidden. He's not primarily in the adventures, but he does make his little appearances. But
And-
if you do want to give your players the player-based rewards, 3 of which we have unlocked for the stretch goals,
Almost
Sir Nominus
4.
does in fact come to the players and says, "Hey, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's these bases." So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We are just over
10,000
20,000
Oh, yeah,
away
20,000
from the next one. So
Yep. I think we will close out with this final question here on the
Alright.
Q&A with Friendly Teen, who asks, you've made fun of challenge rating in the past for obvious reasons. How have you balanced this book's encounters to be more appropriate for the recommended levels? We have like completely omitted challenge rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no challenge.
There's no
rating.
challenge rating for any of these because they're already built for a very specific level anyways, so just run them at that level
Yeah.
that we made them for.
And the reason why we didn't include challenge rating is because we curated them so specifically. There wasn't really a challenge rating to assign to them because there was like other CR half monsters that should be built for level 1s that were what we were trying to avoid because they have a tendency to kill level 1s. Meant that it was like, what do we assign, like CR is 16th, like
Yeah,
to make it fit with
exactly.
the dimensions of the book of the rest of the system. So we said, you know what, we're just gonna scrap that idea, not give them a challenge rating, and you're free to, if you use experience in your games, you're free to assign whatever experience you feel is appropriate for those monsters. Because challenge rating just didn't quite fit what we were going for.
Exactly. So they're all balanced for those levels. So hopefully they should work out for the adventures and for your lower level players. So actually, this is a good question to end on. Jerry Axelo says, "Can I run this? Can I run this for one of my first campaigns as a DM?" Yes.
Yes.
That's like the whole point.
Yeah, please do.
It's
And let us know
intended-
how it goes in
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah, for
100%.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But if you're brand new to DMing, seriously check out the Quest-O-Nomicon. We have a lot of tips, and the adventures in the book are kind of, we wanted to display them in a very specific way in the way the information is given to you as a dungeon master. I already have a hard time with reading retention, so I wanted to make sure that I would have an easy time reading this book, and so I hope you can too. So yeah. But anyways, thank you so much, everybody. Seriously, really, really thank you for all of your support on the Quest-O-Nomicon.
It's been
Really
crazy.
appreciate you guys. This was super fun to talk to all of you and answer questions. We will likely do another one in a couple of weeks, probably about the midpoint of the campaign, where we can answer some more questions from all of you guys, which, of course, we all look forward to. And,
Yeah.
hanging out with you guys and talking.
I'm glad I
So-
got to pop in a little bit.
yeah, definitely. Glad you got to be here, Colton. So, thank you all so much again. Seriously, it means a lot to me, to all of us, that you guys are hanging out with us and supporting the Quest-O-Nomicon over there. Hope to see you guys later. Let's see if we can unlock some of those stretch goals, and we'll see you guys next time. I didn't make an end card, so it's going to go back to starting soon.
Oh,
Oh,
No, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
because
Except,
basically,
will we?
will.
Well,
We will.
We will
in a
not
few weeks.
right now. In a few weeks, we'll be
In
right
a few
back.
weeks,
Yeah.
we'll be right back.
Yeah. All right. See you guys later. Thanks for hanging
Bye.
out with us. Bye-bye.